Well, good morning everyone. It's Ian from DIY Home and Gardening. It's an absolutely amazing day today. First day off in a while. So, well, I'm going to start my day with a little bit of relaxing and get some more seed sowing done. So, I've done a few of the usuals. Now to sow some of the more unusual. Okay, so first seed in question is this one, Stevia. As you can see by the packaging, sweet herb or sugar plant is as it's described. Estimated, there we are, 30 times sweeter than sugar. So it's one of those funny ones. Fizzy drinks, sweet foods all use sugar, or the new drinks that don't contain sugar contain a man-made sweetening chemical called aspartame. You know, personally, I think having a man-made chemical into food, drinks is probably not the best thing, and obviously the jury still seems to be out on if it's good or bad for you. The interesting thing with stevia is that in America, Coke and Pepsi managed to get it made illegal to be used, mainly because they own the rights to the artificial sweeteners. But anyway, my intention is to grow this stevia as, you guessed it, an alternative to using sugar in cooking and cups of tea and whatnot. So first one that I'm going to be doing, as you can see, it seems to be relatively straightforward, keeping it at 21 to 24 degrees, so it's definitely going to be one for going in a heated propagator, and covered over with vermiculite. So that's one. So as we've always filled the seed trays with compost, given them a good drink, leave them for about half an hour to stand to let your excess water drain through, and bring them indoors or into your, wherever you're sowing, so that the compost can get up to a slightly more elevated temperature than if you just stand the seed tray outside. You don't want to shock the seeds. So you can see that the compost now has slumped to slightly below the rim. That's perfect. So can sow the seed and then cover over with the appropriate covering, whether that happens to be vermiculite in this case, as it's a fine seed, or some additional compost in the case of the licorice. So let's get sowing. Excuse the state of the hands, but I thought I'd show you just how small this stevia seed is. Very small, so that's why it only needs covering with vermiculite. Right, okay, so that's the seed sown. There we are. You can see how fine the stevia is. They are multi-sown across the surface of those cells, and with the licorice I've multi-sown into a little divot of compost, which can now be covered over. Basically these are both sort of experimental herbs or seeds to me, so I'm just going to use them all up and go for broke, really. Okay, that's the licorice covered, and now just the vermiculite over the top of the stevia. Decent layer, and just give the vermiculite a little spray down just to stop it blowing away, and also to stop it drawing out the moisture from the top layer of compost and the seeds. So that is that done. Give it all a good tamp down, and now we can pop it into the propagator unit and get that cover on. hopefully I'll see you soon. Right, so I've got a little update. This is my other batch of stevia that I've put in, as well as just in case the others didn't germinate. And it is a month on, or a month and 1 day, and you can see that those are the few that have come up. It really is a pain to germinate, and that's the first batch sown a week prior. They didn't germinate at all, so that might have been because the seed was from last year, but that's the brand new seed, as you can see, very erratic, and that is out of 25 seeds, so quite a poor success rate so far. We are the 4th of June, and this is the last remaining 5 stevia, potted 4 days ago now, or pricked out and into their pots 4 days ago. There were about another 2 or 3 plants, but to be honest, they were so small and spindly I didn't bother with trying to pot them on. But out of 25 seeds, that's pretty poor return. Ignore those, they're slightly different. But yeah, this is essentially the next stage on. So you can see obviously that one has filled out quite quickly already in the last say few days, but I'll just wait until they fill the pot, get the root to the bottom before potting on the next stage. They like being more, on the moist side now, but just allowing to dry out between the waters. 20th of June, thought I'd do the update. So these are the stevia plants. I've literally moved them out this morning, and alongside them is the Cape Gooseberry physalis plants, which incidentally are just trying to produce some flowers, or are producing flowers. So with these stevia plants, they're looking a little bit leggy now, so all I'm going to do is just take the tops out of them, like so. Try and get them roughly leveled up. Even this weak one, going to take the top out of that, and that's actually the fiddliest one to do. There we are. Hopefully that will strengthen them up. That's the leaves, just to give it a little try. Oh, they are really sweet. So yeah, stevia is an alternative to sugar is going to be a fantastic option. And you can see there that we've now got the roots coming out the base, and these are pretty much ready for planting out into a container or something. So that is that. That's me growing stevia. Right, 10th of July, stevia now looking ready to pot. You can see the roots have got to the bottom of these 10.5 centimetre pots, and so they're going into a 1 litre pot, which never seems that big until you compare the size. So yeah, just using multi-purpose compost, going to pot them up. Okay, so that's them done. Super quick job before it really chucks it down with rain. Just use the opportunity to re-centralise the plants into these new pots, and just check to see whether pinching out will have any benefit on the plant. If they've started producing side shoots, then yeah, pinch again, and that will encourage the plant to further develop. Okay, we are the 30th of July, and this is really the final video on these. So this is my 6 pots worth of stevia. So I started the video, or started the seed sowing back in March. As a recap, the first lot of seeds after initial germination then seemed to succumb and died. So second seed time was more successful, and after going through basically weeding out the weak ones and whatnot, down to 5 plants, which, as you can see, there's still varying grades between them, and they have all been nipped back at the same stage, but you can see that, well, some are grown better than others. So yeah, that's where I'm at really. So let's say stevia is natural sweetener, sugar. Just take the tips out and eat them. I mean, it is very sweet, but really you need to do it properly. Harvest the tips, dry them out, chop it or grind it, and then got a bit in the throat, use it as a sugar substitute. So back to the plants. So these have been outside. You can see they're a little bit battered, a few nibble marks on them. In the UK they can stay outside during the summer period, but they have to go in, basically treat it as a house plant, conservatory plant for winter. So yeah, that's it. I'm gonna just well, essentially pinch these out, try and encourage them to push out a little bit, and I'll probably keep a few of them, or a couple of them, give the others away. But yeah, just something a little bit different, nice alternative to sugar or variations of sugar, and yeah, just something a little bit different to try. So that's it from me and the stevia. Yeah, taken 2 attempts of seed sowing and getting the plants to grow to get to this stage, but both those attempts were done within the same time frame, so still from March. So yeah, March, April, May, June, July, so 5 months essentially to get some viable plants. Admittedly, that does mean that we've only got a couple more months of them to be outside, and then we have to think about taking them in, but shows that they're perfectly doable to grow them in the UK. So yeah, that's video done. As I say, if you've got any questions, then obviously send them to me. I'll do my best to answer them based on my limited knowledge on growing stevia. If you do like what I'm doing, then obviously please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the reminder button so you don't miss out on the future videos. And I always say it, but it's so true, enjoy yourself, have fun, but also do take the time to try and do something different. Try and, you know, learn something different or experiment. But till next time, bye for now.